I still remember walking into that ballroom on the very first day of Joe Dispenza's 2018 Toronto week-long event. The air was buzzing with excitement, hundreds of us ready to meditate, to rewire our brains and change our lives. After Joe welcomed us, he stated something that made everyone's head spin. He said, "I was thinking about your challenge this week, and then I looked up." And with a big grin on his face, he said, "We will be rappelling down the side of this building." The whole room kind of froze. Did we hear him right? I mean, the Weston Harbor Castle Hotel on Lake Ontario was about 38 stories high. I could say that part of me got really excited because I knew that life was always happening for me, giving me things that would stretch me, but this was a real stretch. I mean, I did attend this week-long event to grow, but I also thought, whoa, this is a lot, while simultaneously thinking, heck yeah, I'm all in. Basically, I both loved and hated the idea at the same time. Most of all, though, something deeper stirred inside me, a kind of determination, an excitement that said, you don't want to live smaller than your potential, right? Go all in. This is going to be amazing. Thankfully, out of the 1,100 people or so in attendance, my group was scheduled to do the challenge first, so I didn't have time to overthink it too much. I was so happy about that. The next day, after getting all geared up for our descent, we meditated in a quiet room on our way to the rooftop. With eyes closed, our bodies only semi-still, we practiced settling our nervous system and finding some semblance of inner calm. We listened to Joe's specific recording for this challenge where he said, this isn't about pushing through, it's really about regulating your system on purpose. He said we needed to connect to our heart, slow our breathing down, and get in the present moment. We were to practice moving away from all that anxiety and all that chatter in our heads. Dr. Joe said we had to do what feels unnatural and abnormal to change ourselves and to know that we are greater than the voices pretending to be us. When we opened our eyes from the quieter part of the meditation, it was time. And as I peeked out the door to the rooftop we were rappelling from, I couldn't believe what I saw and heard. I thought, or maybe I said it out loud, oh sure, universe, you have to add this to the mix. The annual air show was on, and in the sky, right in front of us, were extremely loud Air Force fighter jets roaring by. I laughed and said, oh well, this is happening. And so I got positioned right at the edge, like I was told, of that rooftop. And again, I thought, am I seriously going to let go and tip backwards, leaning off the edge of this roof? Sure, part of me wanted to run away, but something else took over. It's that awareness Joe talks about, the part of us that can observe fear instead of become it. I thought, who are we all really anyway? Life isn't that serious. I can do this. Don't get me wrong. At the same time, I was also thinking, this is insane, and they wouldn't let us do this if it wasn't safe, right? But I really knew I was all in, and so there it was, just me, the rope, and the sky leaning back. And as I did that leaning back, wow, time stood still for an eternal second. Everything stopped. No noise, no thought, just presence, just hanging there. And suddenly I was doing it. No time for thinking anymore. I just kept pushing off, taking one leap down the building after another. I took what I thought was the harder route too, through the middle where the windows were and not just the flat wall. It was surreal, looking inside people's hotel rooms from this angle. It made me laugh at the absurdity of life itself. But still, the world below me was moving slowly upward as I descended. And I would have to say that the mix of terror and total peace that collided at the beginning was turning into a feeling of complete euphoria. All I had was this moment, and then the next and the next. It felt like pure presence. At one point, I even felt like it was going to be over too fast. Part of me wanted a chance to do it again. When my feet finally hit the ground, a wave of elation surged through me. I was beyond excited and immensely thankful for having done it. The fear that once felt semi-paralyzing had transformed into a huge liberation of energy, and boy, I felt powerful. Moments afterwards, they directed us to another activity where we stood in a circle, taking turns falling backwards while letting others catch us with a big net. It seemed laughably simple in comparison, but everything is relative, right? I freed up energy to make my life easier by doing something hard, and it was 100% worth it. Basically, What Joe wanted us to see with this grand challenge was that it wasn't about the rope or the height or the fall. It was about what happened inside of us when we approached our personal edge. And you need to know that we were definitely not all a bunch of perfect, healthy, strong people falling through on this wild challenge. People of different ages and fitness levels did it. Even those suffering from difficult illnesses and physical issues joined in. It truly was beyond powerful to witness the influence of our individual minds when coupled with our higher self. I really did marvel at the incredible people all around me. So now let's look more at the mechanics of all of this. Basically, the moment you step forward, fear, every old program in your brain fires off the self-doubt and the need to control, and narratives of all those stories of limitations come up. That's the inner fight Joe talked about. It's the battle between the familiar past and our possible future. But each time we go beyond that edge, whether it's 38 floors up or simply having a hard conversation, we liberate energy that was trapped in old patterns. Joe taught that the real goal is to begin walking as your future self, practicing with an open heart, steady breath, and trusting what you can't see yet. That's what repelling was, a physical initiation into a new level of being. To regulate my state, to walk with my heart pounding, boy it pounded, yet trusting anyhow was the work. It's work I see my clients doing in my psychotherapy practice. They are looking to open up and to act as if the future they want is already real, not by faking it or by bypassing their emotions, but by getting right into the programs, by feeling and facing them and taking the actions to be that new person. I see people shift all the time. Basically, when you do that, when you step past your edge and stay conscious with your programming and not let them run you, you often impress yourself. Even little movements forward can feel wonderful. You do have power inside of you. I don't care who you are. And you deserve to get to know more of that side of yourself. So I want to ask you to do something right now. Take a few moments, stop this video and really feel into it, and ask yourself, what is my edge? Get in there and feel it. What is something that I could do today that would feel hard but good once I did it? Maybe it's a walk to the corner or just a walk to the end of your driveway. Find something that would feel like forward movement for you. Maybe it's that email you need to send. No judgment. Be where you're at, but go for it. You will eventually start to realize a better feeling life is just a formula. Something you can take step by staying in the present and taking one step out of your comfort zone, just one step. One step of tiny movement forward, you can change everything. You will start to think, if I can do that, what else am I capable of? But again, don't overwhelm yourself. Be where you're at. I can't emphasize that enough. Okay, so again, I really want to ask you, what is your edge right now? And I don't want to forget this part, actually. You have got to know that not everyone did that repelling challenge, but they were still asked to meet their edge. For some, it was wrestling with choosing not to do it and making peace with that with no shame. For some, it was going up to the roof without doing the challenge, but still facing their fear of heights for a bit. So please feel into what tries to block you and step into it. Move into what small movement towards your edge you can take forward. Prime your system to know that you are becoming a mind boss. You are going to take that small action, keep it small, and over time, new edges will appear for you because growth never stops. I know that scares some people, so they don't even try, but that is where I can help you to get at those programs. Check out some of my other videos for support so you can discover the truth of you. Most of all, know that you are enough now. Period. And I'm not kidding. No challenges or stunts needed to prove yourself. I can guarantee you that my value is no higher because I did that challenge. But that doesn't mean extending yourself doesn't expand you to a degree. You want to get at the actions that let authentic you play in this life to powerfully direct yourself into your deeper heart's desire while being enough already. Now that is what I would call a true challenge. So I dare you to value yourself right now before you have done the forward movement. Valuing you as is will give you tons of energy, because unconditional love is better than anything you will ever do in this life. And from there, you will be freed up to play with challenges while not getting lost in defining yourself by them. Thanks for tuning in today. Bye for now.